to Reno Radio. I'm your host, Naomi Findlay, and I'm Australia's real renovation expert. This podcast will give you real advice for renovating, selling your property, or styling your home so you can create beautiful, healthy, and wealthy spaces too. Renovating does not have to be hard. In fact, it can be one of the most rewarding things you ever do. So join me and my impressive list of guests each week for plenty of feel-good inspiration and real renovation advice. This is Reno Radio.
All right, welcome back. Amongst other things, we were just talking about moving. Now, I have moved, Gnomes.
How many times?
5 times in 5 years.
Wow.
I know, because we were living in Melbourne before we moved back up here to Queensland. So we were in rental property. So we were constantly, every year, not through necessity. Well, actually, no, it was through necessity, because every time we rent a house that we love, the owners would want to move back in at the end of our lease.
That means you're a bit of an expert.
A bit of an expert
on moving.
At moving. So we thought we might just talk a little bit about that today and maybe give you some top tips, or some of my top tips, certainly I know about Gnomes, as far as moving is concerned. So,
see, my number one is make everything as easy as possible.
Don't move. That's number one.
No, it would be, if I was going to move though, ultimate time for a spring clean, declutter, give to charity, throw out if broken.
That is
systematic.
That is singularly one of the best things about moving, is it's a great time to take stock of everything that you have, because we're nesters, and we tend to accrue stuff, especially if you've got kids. We tend to accrue stuff, and by moving once every year for 5 years,
you would have been trim.
Oh, we were trim. I tell you, if we hadn't seen it for 12 months, it went, and there was again, we've alluded to this before as well. There's no emotional attachment to stuff.
Okay.
Stuff just went. And I tell you what.
But there would have been some stuff that you were attached to that you wanted to keep forever.
So we kept it.
Grandma's old teacup.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was in a special keepsake area.
Yeah. And that would go, a lot of stuff would go, and this was handy for us as well, because we were just bringing in a big box. Yep. And the tea chest cabinet, which had all the lovely crockery and stuff in it, would all go into the one box. So we knew exactly where they were labelled up.
And that went,
And that went with the tea chest. So the tea chest and the box go together. They go in the truck together. We know when they come out of the truck, they go together into that spot. And then you just have a glass of wine and unpack it.
I like it. You just mentioned a really important thing though. Labelling.
Labelling's really important.
Labelling. Yeah. Do you label per room, or do you just label what's in there?
It depends. We would label per room, definitely. Always put the room that you wanted on, and we would know where we were moving to in advance. So we would know which was Frankie's room, which was Jack's room, which was our room, which is the kitchen and wherever.
Yes.
So those would have the appropriate labels on it. But then there would be Jack's room books, for example.
So you knew what to unpack first.
Yeah, and we knew what was really heavy, because the books are heavy.
That brings up another one, because I have moved a couple of times. Another one for me is getting the right boxes. A lot of people will just go to their local Kmart and grab a pile of boxes that the tea bags came in, only to fill them with books, and one, it be too big and hence too heavy, or two, when you pick it up, the bottom falls out of it.
Right.
There's so many affordable options. You can even, I noticed the other day that when people have moved, they then sell on or give away their moving boxes.
Yep, that's right. So it goes, and you're recycling stuff. It's pre-labelled, some of it, which is kind of handy if you can dig through them.
Good job.
But the other thing too is make sure you get a decent masking tape.
Yes, good point.
Even if you've got the gun.
Roll the gun.
The gun.
Oh.
They're great fun, and they're much faster, and it's times of the essence.
Means you don't have to be tearing
That's right.
the tape.
And you're not, with Stanley knives, not cutting things, or with scissors, and you're not running the risk of cutting yourself.
Nice.
And when you're packing with kids in the house, you've got to seal these boxes fast, because the kids are into them and pulling stuff out.
Oh, I haven't seen that toy in ages.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you're going to see it and you haven't seen it in ages, it's probably in the bin, or it's gone to the recycling.
Absolutely.
Back to the op shop or something like that.
What else did you find?
We did all of it by ourselves.
Oh, would you do it again that way? Now?
Well, it was kind of out of necessity. I had a ute, so we just did many loads with the ute.
Yep. When
we moved interstate, we did it done professionally, which I would always recommend as well.
Yep.
If you've got it in your budget to do it, then it's A, it's much easier, B, it's much faster, See, it frees you up to take care of the rest of your life.
Yes, which is also busy during moving time.
Absolutely.
You've got services, electricity,
you're disconnecting
water,
stuff. You're
post.
often in negotiations with real estate agents or
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're going. You're signing contracts or you're finalising contracts
Yep.
or you're, and then you're trying to carry out your daytime job at the same time and try and keep the kids in some semblance of normality. So, my kids are never normal anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Pretty much we're going to get the right equipment to do it.
Yep.
So if you do choose to move on your own, then you should be looking at the right type of moving trolleys. Don't try and think that you can just lift a fridge.
That's right, absolutely. And you can hire these things, people. You can
So
hire a trolley.
affordably.
It's very, very affordable. And the time it saves you will far outweigh any cost or expense that it incurs to hire it. So, and I mean, we've got one body for life. So protect it. You don't want to be rushing around and doing things the wrong way and then injuring yourself forever.
Absolutely. And a similar one, you can even hire now moving blankets.
Yeah, or big moving trailers that you can stack everything into if you've got to do it yourself.
When you're putting your furniture together, you don't have to worry about getting them out the other end scratched.
That's right. So get some help if you can. Call the boys
help,
around.
right equipment, be prepared, declutter, label well. Get
plan.
a masking tape gun.
Get a masking tape gun. Problem solved. Masking tape done.
I like it. So
Forever.
what would be your top one of all of those?
Declutter.
Okay. There you have it. Rowan's top tip. 5 houses, 5 years. Top tip is declutter first.
Your life will thank you for it. And your
Thanks,
wife.
Ro. Some good tips.
No worries.
Hey renovators, if you're ready to take the next step in your renovation journey, then come learn how to renovate with me in my online renovation masterclass. It's completely free for all of you listeners. So if you want to discover how to renovate properties for profit, head over to naomifindlay.com/renovation masterclass, where I'll show you how the 7 steps to my winning rapid renovation formula create a 6-figure income for me and many of my students. So save your spot today. Remember, it's naomifindlay.com/renovation masterclass. See you soon.